Hi, Wapendo. Welcome back for another episode. I am so excited to have all you guys back. So, fortunately, things are improving when it comes to COVID-19. The curves are flattening in most of the countries, and majority of the countries are opening up. And that only means one thing for us, which is traveling, though cautiously. So, today and in this episode, I want us to talk about local traveling with one lady who is a big time traveler and she really enjoys traveling locally. So let's hear from her. Hi Wapendwa. Hi Wapendwa. Guess what? It's Sunday and we have big plans. It's my sister's pre-wedding celebration. I'm having best of my moments. Rose, please welcome to my channel.
Yes.
It's been long. I've been waiting for you for a very long time. So
thank you.
And introduce yourself to my team. And please, I want us to talk about local traveling. So after your introduction, I want you to share with us your first experience to travel.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a long time coming. I'm honored to be here, to be featured. Thank you, Abdishakur. I'm Rose Waswa. I make maps for a living. I am into natural resource conservation and use of geospatial technology.
Awesome. Now let's go ahead.
Yes. So about my first local travel, it was impromptu, but not, impromptu as such, but it was Longonot,
Okay.
The closest adventure that you can get on, high altitude closer to Nairobi. So it happened with one of my friends. He was featured. Yeah, you featured him. He's a common friend between us, Chris. So it was one evening, and who is interested in going to Mount Longonot, and I'm up for
challenge.
I'm not very yes. I'm not up to say no to any challenge. Yeah?
Okay.
So he said, okay, fine. The next day, it was on a Friday, and on Saturday we were on our way. That quick, and we really enjoyed it.
So how was that experience for you?
It was both challenging, but so exciting. So it was adrenaline packed because we set up a goal like we need to go to Longonot and we need to go around the crater. So
Wow.
I didn't know what it meant to go around the crater. But by the time I was done, I can tell you my feet were tired, but my heart was full, I must say.
You know the funny part? The funny part is my first experience to ever travel was also Longonot. But we traveled with different groups. I went with colleagues, work colleagues. Trust to me, Longonot was challenging. Specifically going around that crater was not an easy job.
Yes.
But the beauty part was after you're done, okay, you're tired, but the next day, if someone tells you, are you ready to go back? You're like, yes, I am.
Yes.
And that brings me, yes. And that brings me to another thinking, which is, why do we travel? Because someone must be sitting somewhere like, why do we really need to travel? For you, Rose, why do you travel?
At a personal note, I travel to escape from routine. Just to escape and experience the new, get a new fresh air. Some call it like if you forest bathing, for others like going into for me it's just escaping from the normal routine of you wake up, work, home, the same thing all over again. It's like repeated days.
The same route, the same matatu, the same work, the same office from Monday to Saturday.
Yes.
So getting one day to really
same
escape
colleagues,
all
same
that.
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really. Yeah. For me, I do travel to re-energize. Personally, I travel to re-energize because whenever I do that, one day or 2 days trip in the month, just to me, and I'm back, I'm at a whole new level. I'm totally a new person, new energy, new spirit, everything.
So you are revitalized.
Yes. So the other thing I wanted us to talk about is there's this notion that traveling is expensive. So many people when they see me traveling, they're like, hey, where do you get that money? We're working in the same office, maybe you're earning the same money. Where do you really get that money? So is traveling expensive for you?
I say traveling is expensive.
Even for you. Let's talk about in general.
Yes.
is traveling
in
expensive? And then we can talk about ourselves and our experiences.
Yeah. I say traveling is expensive if you make it expensive. That's my mantra. So, especially we are talking about local travels. The
Yes.
key thing is planning. Just plan. If you know you want to do something in the 6 months, 1 year in advance, you're going to put little money. And also it depends on the location. Where are you going? So we can all go to Masai Mara. For example, I spend 12,000 shillings to go to Masai Mara for 2 nights, 3 days. You spend 100,000.
Let me correct
based on the location.
Let me correct you.
Yes.
We did not spend
Yes.
12,000. We spent 10,000.
Oh yeah, it was 10,000. Yes. It was
Yes.
10,000. Thank you for that. 10,000 youth for art safaris.
Yes.
Yeah.
2 nights.
Big up to them.
2 nights and
Yes.
3 days.
3 days, and it was awesome.
With Nyamachoma and everything.
Yes. Yes, and the snacks when we went for the drive, we did go
Yes.
for the drive and had lunch, like,
A picnic
by
lunch.
the
It's not just a lunch.
river, yeah, by Mara River
Mara
with the
River.
hippos and everything.
Yes.
Yes. And we enjoyed ourselves.
So let's give practical examples of what makes
Okay.
traveling expensive. Like, give me one of the examples that makes traveling expensive.
One of the things is not doing your research. It can be expensive because you end up by just picking anybody. And of course, everyone is looking for an extra coin.
Yes.
So depending on the tour, the travel agency you take, if you did not do your homework well, then you get to just pick any, and you might have gotten a better deal. I always say there's nothing you can't negotiate in the face of the earth.
So for me, one thing I will add is lack of information. If you don't have local information or you don't have local connection on the place you're going to, there is high possibility that someone somewhere will take advantage of you.
Yes, yes.
One example I wanted to give out here is there's a friend of mine who did Hell's Gate. They did Hell's Gate.
Ah, yes. Yes, we went to
So
Hell's Gate. I remember.
they did Hell's Gate. They did Hell's Gate. And the funny part is they have not even finished up to the end of Hell's Gate, the hike part.
Mm-hmm.
They just did the hike up to the middle and then they came back. And I asked him, how much did you incur? I think it was him with 2 friends. And I remember him telling me they incurred almost around 15,000.
15 G's?
15,000.
Whoa, okay.
Because mafuta ya gari, food, nini, kila kitu combined. And I told
all
him,
inclusive.
Yes. And I told him, we did Hell's Gate.
You gave him shock.
Yes. I told him, we did Hell's Gate.
Uh-huh.
And we did
the geothermal spa.
The geothermal spa. And we had lunch.
Good
on
lunch.
the pool. Yeah, good lunch on the pool.
Yeah.
And I remember we have been in the pool up to around 6:30 until they had to close.
Yeah.
The time
they had to close.
Out.
Yes, we were there.
And we had snacks. We had snacks on our way, and we also had snacks on our way back. And we paid. And we paid 1,200. 1,200. Who does that?
That was.
Traveling can be expensive. At the same time, traveling can be cheap. It's all about your connections, who you know, who you don't know, how you plan, and who you go with.
Yes.
So I wanted us to go to another level. When people think about traveling, all they see is the glamour part.
Mm-hmm.
The beautiful pictures, the sunset, the sunrise,
the
scenery.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the challenges that you can face when you're traveling. So that someone, if they decide to travel, at least they look forward to some of these things and don't get disappointed. So tell me, what was your challenges? Or give me two of your challenges as you travel.
Two challenges. So the first is not getting what you asked for. We are dealing with a virtual world, and chances are, if you want to go and experience, unless you've experienced it before, which you know better, you always have to rely on someone to let you know about the place, where you're going to. There are sometimes you get disappointed. What you see is what you don't get. Because online people can take photos and post of the lodges and then you find
edit.
That's not.
They take photos, edit and make it beautiful. Yes.
Yes. And just like we mentioned about Hell's Gate and portions and what have you, you need to inquire about everything. But then again, psychologically be prepared for anything. Of course, it's an adventure. Come on, it's not your home.
So the first challenge you're giving me is things at the ground might be different.
Might be very different.
Kenyans usually say vitu vichenjanga, something like that.
Yeah, vitu vichenjanga. Things change.
Yeah. So give me another challenge that you faced along the way.
Another challenge is who you travel with. Sometimes we are not at liberty to, you can join a group of people and then there are those people who are not so flexible, I would say.
Complainers.
Flexibility. Yes, the complainers. They can make your entire experience totally different because now you have to damage control and at the same time you need to enjoy. So that makes that's seriously, another challenge of traveling.
Complainers stay in place. Whenever you complain, you're ruining the experience.
You're ruining the moment
of the other team. Yeah. I don't want to say where it was. I don't want to say who we traveled with, but I remember one time you have been hiking and we could not finish it up to the end point. You had to come back in the middle because somewhere just decided to complain all along that experience.
Yes. And we didn't get to see, the epitome of, any hike. You start and you have a set target of where you want to reach. Yes. So that place not reaching, that place was really a bummer, and we need to go back. We can fix that. We can go back.
I will add one, and that is when you're traveling and you're using Google Maps to travel. Sometimes it's not perfect. You might not get the perfect picture. You might not get the perfect route that you're looking for. So there's high possibility you get lost along the way. So please treat it as a normal experience.
Okay.
Don't complain a lot. Just retract back, see where you went wrong, and go with the flow. Yeah, go with the flow.
Yeah, go with the flow. Yeah.
Those are some of the challenges. And
not on getting lost. Sometimes getting lost can get you to places that you had not even planned. Give you a totally different experience and gives you a new, you get lost, you see something very different from what you had initially envisioned to see, which is always a good experience, unless we are talking about in the wild. So if it's in the wild, you don't want to get lost.
Yeah, if it's actually in the wild, I will suggest and really encourage you have a guide and you have a security. Because you never know what will happen in the wild. You just have to be secured and be in a good position. Yeah. So let's talk about some of the places. Just let's mention and summarize some of the places that you will travel to, and give me 3 of your best places that you traveled to within the country, within Kenya.
I'll go with my first, Longonot.
Longonot was your best.
My first. It stirred up something in me that gave me an opportunity to express I'm an energetic person, this.
I know. She's a big time hiker, and she's always when you're hiking together. I know you want her to. Not in my league. I'm not competing with you.
Maybe right now things have changed, Okay.
But
so there's Longonot. There's Longonot, there's Masai Mara, and one I've always wanted to go to Masai Mara, but I didn't know we could do it on such a low budget of 10,000 Kenya shillings. That's 100 USD.
Yeah,
that's definitely. And I would want. I'm a bit conflicted between Elementaita and it's called Suswa.
Mount Suswa.
Yes. I'm a bit conflicted because one was more chilled out, and it was all about taking in everything, in terms of nature, and you should see the sunrise. Yes, that, and the Suswa. What probably it's because we had an awesome guide and we got lost, so we managed just like that to do. I think it was the first or second peak. And there's the adrenaline of leopards that we had to, we had to think about it. Yes. So that one. I'm sorry,
So
but all of them, except for Elementator, all of them are like, you know, hiking.
let's give both Elementator and Suso the same number 3. So for me,
The same, yes, number 3.
For me, I can't really like grade them 1, 2, 3, but I will just mention the 3 places that I most enjoyed. One is doing Hell's Gate plus the The part that made this place to be interesting was traveling with the U team, the trek team, first time. So one thing actually that trip taught me was, seriously, it's not just traveling, but who you travel with matters a lot. If you're traveling with people of the same interest, people who have that, you know, urge to travel, adventure, experience, and they're hyped, you know, they're like, let's do it, and everything, like the spirit that was surrounding that trip was just awesome. So for me, that was a very good experience, and it was a very good start to make also great friends on that trip. Another one will be doing South Coast. I know you don't like water, but another one for me was doing South Coast. And you know what? We were talking about travel being expensive. When I did South Coast, I traveled with a friend of mine. He was in Mombasa. It's not like I traveled with him. He was already in Mombasa. He invited me over. So I went from Nairobi, and there's a place that is for Nairobi University Research Center. They have, I was shocked. They have, it's not luxury, but it's comfortable if you go with your own beddings, by the way. And they were charging a double room for 600 per bed. There's another room that they were charging per bed 300. That's around 3 beds. And then there is a place I think that's meant for the lecturers. That is, it's 1 bedroom. Was it 1 bedroom or 2 bedroom? I think it's 2 bedroom. There's 2 bedroom and then there's 1 bedroom cottage that they were charging around 2,500. And you know what? It's just a lot. The next hotel that is charging 12,000 or 24,000 per night, and you in a Nairobi Research Center have the same level of exposure and experience to the beach. So for me, it was relaxing, just being along the beach, you know, doing beach parties, you know, doing boat ride after. Now I have saved my money from the hotel.
That you would have spent on accommodation.
Now I had the opportunity to do boat ride after boat ride, experience, you know, going to different islands, you know, experiencing different seafood. And those restaurants along the beach, they don't close. They don't close even at night.
Nice.
At night,
so you get
everything that transformed to be more of a beach party place. So you can imagine the atmosphere and the vibe. So for me, at that time, I remember I was jobless. So it was a very nice relief experiencing that trip.
Yes, and escape from
the hustle of Nairobi and everything. Another one I will add in my third list should be doing Robert's camp. Were you with us?
No, there was water.
Were you okay? Like Baringo. Ross don't do water. So another one for me, it was doing like Baringo. So Robert's camp is a very nice place to camp. Nice food. Kuku choma, you know, there was mbuzi. And I was actually the one doing all the slaughtering part. So
nice. you got to show people your talents apart from
not just that. The beauty part of a trek group. We'll not talk about trek group today, but I will bring in more members so that we can talk about how trek group was formed and everything. So the beauty part of trek group is very accommodative. So being one of the Muslim members in the group, they had to make sure the meat is halal and done the Islamic way.
Yes.
So they made me do that part so that I end up also participating.
You're able to eat.
Yes. So that's one beauty part of trek group. They're very accommodative.
Yeah.
So for me, those are my three best places.
The 3 lists. And all of them have water.
All of them have water.
All of them have water. I see you.
Yeah, and I see you also because all your places have heights. So we all have our strengths. We all have our
Yes,
strengths and we all have our weaknesses. It's all about,
yes, yes, yes.
trying level best to experience everything that you get. Rose, we are out of time. I'm very sorry. So give us,
It's
yeah, unfortunately, give
yes.
us your last remarks surrounding local traveling.
Local traveling.
Yeah.
Do your research. Do your research. That's it. Do your research. Once you do your research, you'll be able to get the best deals. You'll be able to get the best times to go places, and you'll be able to find other people that might be wanting to experience what you have, what you want to experience. So
Awesome.
that's
Awesome.
yeah.
My last remark is travel. The two things, people are different. Some people might enjoy just reading about the place and they will actually live in that experience. But some of us, as much as we read, it's not enough. We really want to go there physically and experience it physically. So if that is you, don't hold yourself back. Don't be me in years back of just, scrolling in Facebook posts and wishing, I wish this was me. So if traveling is your thing, step out of your comfort zone, start saving something small, set aside something small for traveling, and do. You won't regret. Trust
Yep.
me, you won't.
Yep.
So, thank you very much for joining us. Rose, thank you very much for joining me in this
It was
episode.
a great pleasure being featured.
I will bring you back to talk about Trek, but with more members
Yep.
also. Team, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for being with us here. All I'm asking for is give us your experiences in the comment section below when it comes to traveling. How was it for you? What did you enjoy? What are some of the challenges that you faced? Share with the rest of the team so that we can learn from each other. Thumb up, please subscribe and be part of this team. Exciting.